Ladies and gentlemen, Kocosports.com is proud to present Wrestle AM. That's right, it's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got the Coco crew here holding it down. As usual, you get your sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, shaking the room live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And of course, joining me way there across the pond in Tokyo, Japan, talking about the marginal one, Dave Kokotis. And Dave, NXT in the books, the build up to their, I guess for lack of a better term, pay-per-view, their first pay-per-view of the year, Arrival. NXT setting it up here with this latest episode. A lot of shockers here, and we're going to dive right into it. But Dave, we got to start out like always. We got to ask you, win, loss, or tie. And ladies and gentlemen, you watching at home, please put down in the comments win, loss, and tie, and why. Dave, I'm going to start off here with saying I'm going to give this show a win.
All right. Me personally, I'm just glad we're not talking about the goddamn Royal Rumble of Roman Reigns anymore. I'm going to give it a win, but a weak win. This was a good show, and I'm almost going to want to give it a tie because I don't care how good of a show you are. It could be New Japan. It could be NXT. It could be Ring of Honor. It could be Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. It could be Lucha Underground. Whoever puts on a great show but ends with a contract signing, definitely, I think, less of the show. I thought the show was great. You know what? I know this sounds crazy. I'd rather just have it a promo. The contract signing is starting to get a little ridiculous. Did they do a better job than WWE? Yes. Did William Regal do better than anyone? You know, but being the best at something that's horrible isn't really that much of an honor. I'm giving it a weak win.
Smarter than Dave Kokotis.
I want to give it a weak win. I almost want to give it a tie, but I think the show was too good. But the first half hour was definitely better than the second half hour. It went from oh my god to really contract signing.
All right, well, I guess we'll have to see how we came to these conclusions. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to give it a solid win. I think it was a solid show from top to bottom. Could the contract signing have been placed in a different spot? Yeah, it could have, but you know what? Let's just dive right into it.
Can I just, before we dive right into it, can I just tell you what it feels like? It feels like dating and making love to a beautiful woman, and then she's like, "Are you into strap-on stuff?" And you're like, "Oh, where do I go?" That's the feeling you get. It's like,
oh. Go, Dave, but that's.
All right, let's focus. Let's break this bad boy down in the comments. Win, loss, or tie. Boom. Show them why you're the best in the business at doing whatever you do.
All right, first thing we got to do here is we're going to talk about, I guess, like if you didn't read spoilers in the weeks before this show, then the shocker, at least in my opinion, the shocker of the evening, new NXT Tag Team Champions, Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake successfully captured the NXT Tag Team titles from the Lucha Dragons. You know what? It was a short match. I think it was about a 5 or 6 minute match, but I think it did everything well. Buddy Murphy hit a blind tag on Wesley Blake. Kalisto obviously didn't see it. Sin Cara was thrown outside the ring. Kalisto hits the Salina del Sol on Wesley Blake. Obviously, he's not the legal man. The referee did not count. Buddy Murphy took advantage of the situation, and as soon as Kalisto hit his finishing maneuver, he just flipped him over, sat on him for the 1, 2, 3, and the NXT crowd erupted. Blake and Murphy just looked like they just won the World Series. They just did a big 2-man dog pile in the ring. They've got the tag team titles. Overall, I think it was a great match. Some highlights here is, and I don't know if people have mentioned this enough, but Sin Cara has been doing some great work as of late. And yes, I know it's the new Sin Cara. I know it's Hunico, so nobody, school me on that one here. But there's something that Sin Cara's been doing as of late that I don't think he's really gotten a lot of attention for and a lot of credit for. He's been doing a lot of like his opponent will wrap up his arm and he'll pick him up with one arm and then slam him back down, so like a one-arm power bomb. For a little guy, that's pretty damn impressive. So I just want to make sure that he got some attention for that. I think this is a good move and a smart move for a couple reasons. well, actually about three. One, it lets you know that title changes can happen on the show, not just the pay-per-views, and so you need to watch every week. Also, it rewards people like Blake and Murphy, who have been putting in a lot of work at the NXT down at the training center. Performance Center, and also it frees up the Lucha Dragons to make an appearance on WWE up on the main roster. There has been talk of moving the Lucha Dragons up to kind of inject some new life into the tag division, which I think it desperately needs. Plus, I think Kalisto would be a great substitute. Well, I don't want to say substitute, but replacement for Rey Mysterio, because I mean he's a short, masked wrestler. That's obviously a quota they're going to be missing out on, because I think Rey Mysterio is going to go bye-bye sometime after WrestleMania, and I think Kalisto will be a great, somebody will be a great person to fill that role. This frees them up, and I think it was just smart all around. Great match. Maybe it could have went a little bit longer, but if that's my only complaint, you know what? I'll take it.
I really enjoyed the match. It's one of those things, if you read spoilers, I think that ruins NXT for you, the viewing experience. I was shocked that Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy beat the Von Villains last week, and I'm shocked that they won the title. And I think if I read the spoilers on this, A, it definitely wouldn't have been a shock, but B, I probably would have just fast forward. You know what I mean? So I'm glad I didn't read the spoilers. I enjoy it for everything that you mentioned, but I was like legit shocked. I was like, what? That really fucking happened? And I think NXT is so much better at telling stories than the guys upstairs. I really enjoyed it. I wonder where it's going. The only thing I got, hear me out. I know that Young Bucks turned down a contract. And I know when these guys talk, and when they talk, and when they celebrate, it reminds me of 70s and 80s wrestling for some reason. You know what I mean? I look at them like, wow, I feel like I'm watching the 80s wrestling. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I have that feeling. But that entrance with those pants and stuff, is it just me, or does it seem very Young Bucks-ish? It's like, wow, we didn't get the Young Bucks. Let's just use the entrance we would have used on these two Southern guys. The entrance didn't seem to match their personalities. Now, am I overthinking it? I can't watch a tag team match without thinking about the beloved Young Bucks? Or do you think there's something to that?
No, I don't. I don't know why you're thinking that, but
because it has kind of the Young Bucks entrance, multiple colors, all that, and it doesn't seem to go with their personality. And all that, but it would have been a perfect spot for the Young Bucks.
In their defense, I think they're still finding that. I think they're still finding their niche right now. In fact, I would actually like to issue a challenge here on Kocosports.com. Down here in the comment section, you know what? I don't think they're going to stick with the name Blake and Murphy. I mean, yeah, they'll still have the wrestlers' names, but I think they need to give their tag team a name. You know what, Internet Infantry, just for fun, why not just throw out some names for Blake and Murphy?
Sir, I'd like to throw out the first one. 80s Express.
That one was actually taken, sir.
Oh, okay. We should be on ESPN Afternoon Wrestling. Remember when you were a kid, ESPN Afternoon Wrestling, the USWA, I think it was called? Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong with the letters. That's what it reminds me of. Just play old school ESPN. There you go. You have them. I don't know. But we'll figure it out. And I wonder if they're going to keep the titles a long time. And as far as the rumors of Lucha Underground, I got Lucha Underground on the brain. The Lucha Dragons headed up. I would find that interesting. I hope they do good. But it's just the thing that scares me about NXT, and I hope Stone Cold asked Triple H this, is NXT just an alternative to keep fans quiet, or is it a legit building for the future? Because look what they did to the Ascension. Who knows? I mean, the character Sin Cara has had its rough patches up top. Who knows? It's scary because I enjoy the Lucha Dragons. I really do. They're one of my favorite tag teams. But as a fan of NXT and as a fan of the Lucha Dragons, is it wrong to think, oh, fuck, I am so scared they're going to mess this up?
Well, yeah, I mean, Dave, why would you be scared? I mean, look at what they did with the Ascension. Wait, never mind.
Moving on. All right, what's the next match?
Next one here, we got another opening round match in the number one contenders title tournament. We saw Adrian Neville versus Tyson Kidd. In my opinion, match of the night.
I second that. Definitely match of the night.
Adrian Neville was just completely on fire tonight. He really upped his game. He was up there, doing a lot of flippy flips and loop de loops. Probably not what they're actually called. Tyson Kidd, solid performance as usual. You had Kidd trying to intentionally slow down the pace of the match, play the smarmy heel. Neville having none of it. Eventually, I did a bit sick power bomb. From really high power bomb. Eventually kicks Kidd in the face, hits the red arrow, gets the win, advances in the tournament. Cuts a promo after the match saying it doesn't matter if it's going to be either Corbin or Bull Dempsey. He's going to take it one day. He's going to, he's been knocked down, but he's planning on getting back up and coming in for more and going to get back to the NXT title hunt. So, great. And let me ask you this, Dave.
All right.
Do you think this is the last we're going to see of Tyson Kidd at NXT?
I hope not. I honestly hope not. I hope Tyson Kidd continues to be a workhorse. He's one of my favorite wrestlers on everything he's on. He's just on television all the time, and I hope that keeps it up. And not only that, but what I liked about this match was it was match of the night. I think the show starts to go downhill from here, but I don't know if Boom Boom agrees with me. But I think the show starts to go down, but I thought it was match of the night. I thought it was amazing. And know what? While you were in this match, you didn't know who was going to win. You literally thought Tyson Kidd had a chance. You thought maybe Neville's time is up. And I don't know that feeling of two great wrestlers putting on a great match, and while you're watching it, you're uncertain who's going to win. Now, I'm describing what should be common sense in pro wrestling. You know what I mean? I'm describing yeah, no shit, Dave. Wrestling should be that. It should be two great athletes put on a match. You're not sure who's going to win. You got a heel and a face. You'd think that this would be an everyday occurrence, and it's not. That's why it's so weird to be you know what? Everyone did their job great. It feels so weird. I think this is obviously match of the night. If you're only going to watch one match, watch this. And to me, I really enjoyed it, and I thought Tyson Kidd had a chance. I thought the commentary team did a great job. I just thought, after seeing a lot of bad pro wrestling and bitching about the Rumble and fucking looking into stocks and all that bullshit, it was just nice to relax and enjoy pro wrestling again. And that's what this match did. I really enjoyed it. And he hit the red arrow, which is still just an amazing move. Now, from here, I think we might have a disagreement. I think the show goes downhill, and I think the placement of where stuff goes. That should have been the main event. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens should have been after the tag match, and then Corbin should have went first. I think the women's match, you could keep it the same. But we'll talk about that next. But I think the match order of this is what gives it a tie, because right now, in my humble opinion, I don't think Boom Boom agrees. If you turn it off and then go on YouTube to see what Zayn and Owens said to each other, you won. You won. If you watched the first two matches, turned it off, went to YouTube and said, yeah, what did Zayn and Owens say to each other? You're the big winner. You're the big winner. I did not enjoy the order of matches, and I think it goes downhill from here. That's why I'm almost giving it a tie. Booms, you disagree and thought it was great from top to bottom, so let's see what's next.
Well, yeah, next year we had a tag match. It was Charlotte teaming with Bayley to take on the tandem of Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. Of course, last week they set the stage for a fatal four-way at Arrival for the NXT Women's Championship. A little tension here between Charlotte and Bayley. They had a little confrontation in the locker room. Obviously Charlotte was upset at Bayley giving her the belly to Bayley last week, and I kind of like Bayley's approach, going, I'm sorry, it was kind of instinctual, caught the moment, and she goes, you know what, I'm not sorry. Sami Zayn, he's a nice guy, but he took a little bit more serious tone, and look what happened to him. Maybe that's what I need to do. And I think that's great foreshadowing, by the way. But they went out there. All this was a setup here to kind of promote and put over this fatal four-way. And I think this match worked for several reasons. During the match, I mean, you had everybody kind of get a little bit of offense in, so you got everybody established. You had eventually the match got a little crazy when you had Charlotte and Sasha Banks in the ring. Sasha Banks had executed a maneuver. It was going for a pin. Bayley went in there to break it up, but just as Charlotte kicked out of it, Bayley wound up hitting Charlotte, and of course that led to like a little stare down, a little shoving match between Charlotte and Bayley. There was a forearm thrown, and then they just started going at it. Then in came Banks and Lynch to take advantage of the situation. It quickly degenerated. The referee threw out the match. Referees come in, and they had to pry apart both Charlotte and Bayley. Now, normally I would be upset about a no finish, but the reason I think this match works is the fact that, Bayley hasn't, I know Rob, was thinking, okay, she turned heel. No, Bayley didn't turn heel. She's just taking a little bit more serious of a tone. And it shows that she's not going to get pushed around. They even said on commentary, everybody has a breaking point before they snap. Well, Bayley's finally snapped. She's not going to take it anymore. Okay, good. And this also works because you don't want to make anybody look too good or too bad. You want to have it to where that title is completely up in the air at the pay-per-view. If you have one team win, whoever takes that win's going to look pretty good. Whoever loses is going to look really bad, and I think it kind of gives away the ending. Because normally, if I'm booking a show, if I'm going to have if I'm going to have Charlotte, I'm just going to use this as an example. If I'm going to have Charlotte, retain her title, I'm going to have her take the pin. I'll have her get pinned by Sasha Banks, and make it seem like maybe she's vulnerable. Or if I'm going to put the belt on, I don't know, just Becky Lynch, because why not? I'm going to have Becky Lynch get the pin on Bayley and say, you know what, if that happens in 2 weeks, Charlotte could lose her NXT title without even being pinned. But when you end it like this with a no finish, then it's all up in the air. You don't know which way they're going to go with this, which is great. And I can make arguments for each and every woman in that ring of why they should walk out with that NXT Women's title, which is just something. NXT does that a lot, and God bless them for it. So I think it's great. It actually advanced characters. It kind of shows a little dissension amongst the ranks with Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. It's showing that Charlotte, is her back's up against the wall, and Bayley's not going to take it anymore. She is out to win that title. Everybody's thirsty for it, and I absolutely love it. So that's why I felt that it worked.
Not so fast, my fellow friends. This is where we got the great first Lee Corso. We haven't done a Lee Corso in a while. It feels good. Did it feel good to get Lee Corso'd? I think these...
Really, especially when you're wrong.
Well, me and Lee Corso have both been wrong before, but I'm still going to drop the Lee Corso on you. These four women are wrestlers. These four women are wrestlers. The Divas are not. When Charlotte came out, that's a wrestler. She's a women's champion. She's not a diva. She's not sucking John Cena's cock to the best of our knowledge. She is a women's wrestler. All four of these women are women's wrestlers. This was a Divas match. This could have been with the Bellas. This could have been on the Royal Rumble. The NXT, I expect more out of the women. And not only that, but a little nitpicking here. When Charlotte and Bayley are beating the piss out of each other, why does Sasha Banks and Lita Jr. run in? Let's say,
Dave, at that point the match was still going on. You still want to get the win.
I guess I just sit back and let them beat the shit out of each other. Why is it a no contest? Just let the girls fight. I don't understand. To me, I expected more from these women athletes. This would have been good on Raw, but it's not good enough for NXT. That's where I stand. Now let's go to the match
That's fine. You're entitled to be wrong. Hell, it's America. Next here we had a little backstage segment, and I'm just going to mention this briefly. Is that they talk about Finn Balor is next week will be taking on his I guess you could say friend Hideo Itami. And Finn's like, I knew this was going to happen. I just didn't think it would happen this soon. And then not to be outdone, Hideo Tommy says, you know what, I'm not going to hesitate to take you out. And I think that set a pretty good tone. And then we also find out after a commercial break that Emma is coming back to NXT. And I love what she said. She said, well, things didn't work out. But I'm back here. I'm going to start fresh, a new beginning. And I don't know if it was just character. And God bless her if it was just being, in character. Because she had this look of, I am fucking pissed off. I cannot believe I'm fucking back here. What the hell?
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. The thing with Kenta and Prince Devitt, the thing that I love about these two is that they're two of the best athletes in the world, two of the best wrestlers in the world. I'm completely pumped up. But, I got to find a negative in it. How is this not the finals? Like, whoever wins this and goes against the guy in the finals is such a letdown. It's like, oh, we saw Prince Devitt and Kenta. The winner of that takes on Bull fucking Dempsey, fucking Baron Corbin, fucking Pac. No, it's like such a fucking letdown. It's like the goddamn NFC Championship game, and then you get to go play the Bills afterwards. It's like, this ain't a Super Bowl. Who fucking ranked this shit? Where's the AP poll?
Have to play the Buccaneers.
Too soon. Too soon, Boom Boom. You know we're going through hard times. Why kick me when I'm down? When we draft the quarterback and we go from last place to first place, just like the Fighting Kangaroos.
Hard times. I mean, more like a hard decade, but I digress.
So yeah, I cannot wait. I am super pumped up for this match. I hope these athletes let it all out. They show the world how great Japan knows they are. I'm just really excited about that. But with that said, who gives a shit who they fight next? And Buffalo Bills, who's going to happen? I just think I love the idea of the tournament. I love the idea of the number one contendership. I love the fact that, there'll be a championship match and a number one contenders match. I love all of that. It's just Kenta and Prince Devitt are supposed to be in the finals. Doesn't anyone know the best teams? Like, who ranked this? Where's the AP now? Let me tell you something. This is bullshit. But no, seriously, I can't wait for that match. It just feels weird after seeing that match to be like, oh, let's root for the winner versus someone else. I just think the seeding seemed to be a bit off for me. And next, you have two guys. Go ahead.
This was another number one contenders, another match in the number one contenders tournament. You had Baron Corbin versus Bull Dempsey. This was a rematch between these two, but the difference was this one was fourth spot in the tournament. Baron Corbin pulls off a huge win. I mean, their match went a little bit longer than I think their last one, but that end of days just looks absolutely fucking vicious. And that there's really not much to say about it. They bounced around in the ring for a little bit, and But here's the thing: I'm not necessarily opposed to either one of these gentlemen being involved in this tournament. But I think the problem is, no matter who advances, you're going to have to expose somebody, because I don't think either one of these guys are capable of carrying a long match. So, I mean, obviously, now the winner is going to have to face Adrian Neville, and now, obviously, Baron Corbin won that match. So, Dave, do you think Adrian Neville can carry Baron Corbin to a decent match in 2, or are you smelling upset?
Well, first off, fuck Bull Dempsey. Can I make that clear that I fucking hate Bull Dempsey?
Made it abundantly clear. See, if you love people like CM Punk and Matt Striker and the Young Bucks more than a straight man should, then you hate Baron Corbin like a...
I don't know. No, that's not fair. I wanted to be clear that I hate Bull Dempsey. I don't know if I hate Baron Corbin yet. I'm at the phase of I think, know what it is? I don't know. I haven't read the spoilers. Corbin versus Neville will tell me everything I need to know about Corbin. I don't know if he's a good wrestler. I don't know if he's bad. You really can't tell. These matches are so short, and he's going against Bull fucking Dempsey. I think...
Well, when you say that that's the point, you don't want to expose their weaknesses, especially his at this point?
Yeah, true. But the thing is, I want to know, as a fan, can this fucker really go? He's over because people are counting. He's not a big muscle guy. I don't know much about Corbin. I am holding off my fuck Corbin bandwagon. I'm like told the printers, hold off on the fuck Corbin fucking t-shirts and banners until next week. I think next week he is either going to be exposed for what he truly is, good or bad. I think he's going to be exposed. And I find it to be interesting what's going to happen next week. But it scares me that Neville's going to have to put this guy over because WWE. I thought, I'm not buying the hype yet. But I don't want to hate on Corbin as much as I hate on Bull Dempsey. I want to see what he can do. Next week, I'm going to hold off the hate parade. Like, we're canceling our hate parade. Please come back next week. I want to give Corbin a chance. Give him a chance. I know I'm not that guy that gives people chances, but from what I've seen, I don't know what to think of him. Next week, I will know. Next week, I will know. And Neville versus Corbin. If Corbin wins, and he's as bad as I fear, I'm going to be such a sad little puppy. I'm just going to be a sad puppy. I'm pre-warning you. Overall, I thought it was a WWE-ish match. It was bad to average. That's not fair. It was okay to average. But I want to see what he does next week. And then Bull Dempsey appears in a promo, and he's like, they're not done. You got to beat me. Like, Bull Dempsey's become that joke from Bill and Ted. You beat me twice, but you won't beat me a third time. You beat me 3 times, but you won't beat me 4 times, you know? Oh, you beat me twice? Best out of 5. Oh, you beat me 3 times? Best out of 7. Oh, it just goes on forever. That's what Bull Dempsey reminds me of. Oh, I fucking hate you, Bull Dempsey. Do they make Hallmark cards for fucking pro wrestlers you hate? All right, let's talk about contract signing. You know I love every man in this ring more than a straight man should. Second, it's a contract signing. It's such a weird situation to be in. It's a weird situation to be in. Do you have a threesome with an ugly guy just to get at a hot chick? That's the question. All right. Yeah. There you go. Booms! Break down the contract signing. Are you excited? Break it down. Big question. Did they sign the contract?
Actually, yeah, they did. Now,
Holy shit!
Here's the thing. Dave, this worked, and I don't think you're really giving this segment the credit that it really deserves, and I know me and you kind of disagree. Let me ask you that. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll set up everything, and then I'll ask you a question here.
All right.
William Regal introduced Sami Zayn, then brought out Kevin Owens, and then he straight up said, okay, this is not gonna get out of hand like he even said this. We're not gonna let this get out of hand like every contract signed in the WWE. If you two touch each other, I'm canceling the match. So we're just gonna come out here. We're gonna sign this thing and be done. Sami Zayn obviously signs the contract. Kevin Owens is reluctant and says, you know what, this says non-title. I'm not doing it. And Regal says, well, look, you knew this. And finally, Zayn then grabbed the microphone and said, oh, you want to stare through me here? You know what? We can, and then they actually brought their old past into it. They talked about they didn't directly say Ring of Honor, but they said, for the past 12 years, that when they started out in Ontario, they went around the world and, they wrestled with each other, they wrestled against each other, but the whole point was to get here, obviously referring to NXT, and he's like, you arrived, then I arrived, and it's like I never in my wildest dreams imagined you would do something like that to me, and said, you know what, I'll do it. And then Regal made the change. Sami Zayn initialed it. They handed the contract over to Kevin Owens. Owens replied that, you know what, it's not personal, it's business. Signs the contract, throws the pin at him, and
hold on. Can I just cut you off for a second? You've been a school teacher too long when the first thing I said when he threw the pen was, whoa, that's really dangerous. Yeah. That's when you've been a school teacher too long. You're like, you can't throw a pen at him, that's dangerous. Detention for you, Kevin Owens. All right, go ahead.
I think this worked because, remember, this was like a non-title match, so now, going into it, I was thinking, okay, this is just cannon fodder. I mean, if this was WWE, they would have kept it a non-title match, and I would have said, you know what, they're going to have Kevin Owens win it because they're not going to change the belt. So the champion's got nothing to lose, and you're going to put over Kevin Owens, make him a bigger guy, bigger star. Now that they've made it a title match, now I don't know which way they're going to go with it. So I like that. Two, I like that William Regal said, look, because he was thinking that he knew what the fans were thinking. We're thinking, okay, this is going to turn into a knockdown, drag-out brawl. And he said, no, this is not going to happen. You two, and if you two touch each other, I'm canceling the match. So, okay. Now they're not going to. Now that they've established that we know that they're not going to touch each other, what are they going to do? How are they going to put the segment over? And then then they acknowledge their past with the independents. Then they it was an Kevin Owens' explanation for his attack at All Revolution. He's like, look, it's not personal, it's business. If I get that title, it means more money for me, and it means I can put food on the table for my family. And it's like, oh wow. Wow, I mean that's okay. That's a good reason. I'm not saying it's, not saying I agree with it, but it's a good reason. It motivates his character. Like, oh wow, okay, that makes sense now. Great. And then now you put something on the line. You've changed it over. Now they've upped the ante on this match. It's now going to be for the NXT title. And then I think they've got it set up. I mean, we've got it about 2 weeks to watch this match, and I'm interested to see where they take it from here for the final push up to Arrival. But my question to you Dave, is let's just say that WWE heard your concerns, and they did some edits where they would edit this, and they did it in like the middle of the show. Would you still liked it?
Completely fine. I actually like the promo, but the thing is, I can't go to Dave Bautista, John Cena, Randy Orton, look him in the eye and be like, fuck your contract signings, and then be like, oh, well, my favorite guys in the world did it, I'm going to let it slide. I just can't. If this was in the middle of the show, you don't hear me complain once. I thought the segment was great. If this was maybe just a promo, it's the contract signing. It's the thing is, if there's something you're against, and I'm against ending a show on a contract signing on every fucking level. And if you're against that, you can't let your fan favorites and buddies cut the line. You got to be like, no, there's rules and regulations for what I believe in. Do you think I'm just a YouTuber who talks shit? No, I have a belief system. That's what makes me better than most of these YouTubers. No, the contract signing is wrong. Even though it was done great, even though I love everyone in that ring, you cannot end a show on a contract signing. I believe it from the bottom of my heart. There's rules and regulations. If not, there'll just be pure anarchy. Let's go to some live comments, shall we? And then wrap this bad boy up.
That's ironic coming from an anarchist.
Moving on. At Wrestling Ranted, he tweets, at Kocosports, yep, Rob was right. NXT's on Hulu, and I already have a Hulu account. My WWE sub actually ends February 8th, but hey, it's done. So, yeah, if you are a big fan of NXT but still want to be part of hashtag fucking cancel WWE, have people judge you because they're fucking dicks and don't actually love ProWrestling.net, that's also that directs you right to Facebook. If you want, there is NXT and Hulu for Americans. So, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'd love to stop eating the McDonald's, but I love the McRibs. Oh, I love to stop watching WWE, but I love NXT. Well, now you have a choice at Hulu. All right, there you go. Plus, we watch, so you don't have to. The comments, if we missed your comments, I want to say this. It's not our fault. YouTube is acting completely wacky with some of the live comments. So if we miss it. But there's a lot from Lennox Wooderson. I appreciate it. NXT was awesome. Think things get bad at the Rumble when Bryan, Ambrose, and Ziggler get snubbed. Wait until Devitt, Kenta, Steen, Zayn, and Neville come up. There's too much talent to have Reigns at the top. Yeah, that's what scares me. That statement scares me. When I go to bed at night, that's what I think scares me. The tag team title reigns of the Lucha Dragons ended kind of abruptly. The Vaudevillains might have the titles, though. So it'll be interesting.
Lennox, let me tell you why that happened. I believe that they just had to get the belts off the Lucha Dragons as fast as possible. I think they will ultimately go to the Vaudevillains, but just for the sake of but they needed to get some. I think it worked better because this kind of came out of nowhere, and they're going to bring up the Lucha Dragons, or at least it frees them up to go to the main roster. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going up full time, but it frees them up to do that. It creates an interesting storyline. It's something fresh, so I think that's why they did it. And yeah, I think the ultimate feud will be between Buddy Murphy and the Vaudevillains.
Yeah, I actually, you know, if you do not read spoilers, I was shocked by it. Were you shocked? Because you don't read spoilers either. I enjoyed
No, I didn't read it. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, oh, that's good. And everything made sense. So,
Lennox Wooderson brings up a great point. What NXT has done so far with Corbin is brilliant. This is how Reigns should have been pushed after the Shield ended. Yeah, NXT is so much better at the creative than WWE. It's not even close. I mean, do you agree with that? As far as NXT creative just blowing WWE creative out of the water?
yeah, absolutely. I think what's got to be frustrating if you're on that main roster is, you know, that's the main roster. It's supposed to be the big leagues. This is supposed to be the NFL. It's supposed to be Major League Baseball. It's supposed to be the National Hockey League. It's supposed to be the NBA, you know, not AAA, you know, not arena football, you know, not, you know, the WWE.
I thought you meant AAA, the Lucha organization. And then I was like, oh, he's talking baseball. I was like, did he just throw AAA under the bus? Oh, you're gonna get it from our Lucha fans.
No. I like AAA, so no disrespect to them. I prefer to AAA baseball, and the reason I say it's got to be frustrating for them up there is the fact that you know, this is supposedly like the trainees, the lesser talented people, but yet it's a better show because the storylines make sense, the booking makes sense. They have opponents that can work with each other, that can put on a good show. You know, I should mention this. You know, Bayley seemed a little off on her in her tag match tonight, and now you could play that up with, well, she's working with a, you know, kayfabe. She's working with a knee injury. Maybe she's not 100%. You know, maybe she's, you know, trying to not completely confident on it. But you know what? The match still worked. And it's got to be just infuriating to the main roster, because if you're not dun 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 or believe that, you're whatever, you don't matter.
Yeah.
You absolutely don't matter, because basically I think WWE's got this thing where if their top guy, that the guy that they're building their company around, can't do it, then by God, nobody can do anything that makes him look bad. So it waters down the entire product. With NXT, they don't have that problem. It's, you know, they've got the sign at the training center. You're not here to fill a spot. You're here to take a spot. And they know if they don't fulfill it. Oh, I know. Believe me, that's a fucking lie. That's the biggest goddamn lie WWE fucking tells them, so why they bust their ass. But,
oh my God. I wonder if there's someone that knows. You know, because a lot of times, you know, when you go to boot camp, when you go to college, you just believe any propaganda they're told to you. There has to be someone who's sitting on those yellow footprints at NXT. All right, I don't think NXT is like boot camp. That's like, yeah, none of this is all bullshit. This is all bullshit. Wrestling Rant says, where are your pretty faces? You know, we're late in the show. I'm not very good looking. You calling me out? All right, let's see. Boop, boop. There you go. I'm not very good looking. And see, look, not very good looking. And there's Boom Boom. He's not very good looking either. There you go, Wrestle Rant. Does it make you feel better? Does it make you feel better? Lennox Wooderson says Neville versus Baylor would be great. Yeah, I think it would be awesome. I agree with that 127%.
You know, and here's the thing with the we didn't. I'm surprised we haven't mentioned this yet, Dave. It's going to be right now. The final four in this #1 contenders tournament is Baylor, Tommy, Neville, and Corbin. I mean, that sounds like something me and you would write. We would be like, you know what? We should have Finn Balor versus Hideo Itami. We should bring in, that Baron Corbin kid. He's looking pretty good. We should have him in. And, of course, Adrian Neville's just fucking fantastic. I mean, it's like something we would write. And it's here, and it's like, I want all four of these guys to win.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm with that with Corbin. I think that also the matchup, the rankings, where they stack, I'm not for. But, yeah, I really do enjoy NXT a lot more. Lennox Wooderson says, epic Bill and Ted reference by Coco. Thank you. A tough comparison to Booms. Odyssey comparison from earlier in the video. 2 classic tales. LOL. Oh, there you go. 2 more messages. I entirely agree with the comment that said Reigns should be booked like Corbin. Excellent idea. All right, everyone give yourself a Barry Horowitz. Hulu is cheaper than a network. I don't know that because Hulu in Japan sucks balls and there is no network in Japan, so this is American talk. As Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and other program, I think we all see the superior product is. All right, yeah, so there you go. Boom, boom, boom. All right, whatever. No. You know what they're doing YouTube right now? Ding! Upgrade! Ding! Upgrade! I think we're being hacked by YouTube. Who are you? Lennox Wooderson says, who are you guys taking in the women have a 4-way match? I think it's Bayley's time, but it would be a shocker if Becky won, and the best feuds may come from Sasha winning. Where does Charlotte fit in? If I was a betting man, and we'll do a pay-per-view profits for this, so this is my early pick. Don't write it down. I think Charlotte keeps it. The only way Charlotte doesn't keep it is if she's being shot to WWE, and I think right now it's WrestleMania season, so why bring in new people? Of course, bring in new tag teams because the Usos have to wrestle someone there, but the women, they're total diving it out. So I think Charlotte wins. That's my early prediction. It's no lock, but that's my early prediction. All right. Booms, I think that's it. One thing I want to do is talk about next week on NXT because WWE has that on their website. I was about to call it a blog, but I think once it says biggestw.com, it's a website. You got Prince Devitt versus Kenta. That's going to be amazing. You got Neville versus Corbin. I think it's going to be a good match, but it's also going to expose Corbin to being a good wrestler or a bad wrestler. And then you got Emma versus Carmella. Yeah, Carmella. Carmella could be great, but I hate that storyline.
We want blue pants.
Yeah, that'd be great. I don't know if she's ever coming back. All right, listen. No. Bad Google Plus. I ain't installing shit. Suck on my fucking little tiny white penis, Google Plus. It's not happening. Ding again. I dare you, Google Plus. I fucking hate you, Google Plus. How fucking dare you do this shit over and over? You go to upgrade. No, we don't. No one's ever upgraded anything on Google Plus. Sorry. Next week's NXT should be amazing. We're going through the comments real quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. All right, nothing on the Google Plus. Look at that. They want us to upgrade it. Nothing. No comments. You upgrade the comments, Google Plus. Jerk nuts. Twitter, nothing. Facebook, appreciate the likes. It really does mean a lot. YouTube, I don't know if you commented, so if we missed it. Let's see. We have one more right here. This is the last comment of the night. Last comment of the night. Good, bad, or indifferent. True, Lennox. Hulu is $79.99 a month in addition. WWE Raw is 90 minutes, not 3 hours, and you really don't miss anything. Damn, I wish I had Hulu. Japan Hulu sucks balls. Do you have Hulu? Or
do
Netflix?
not.
Do you have Netflix?
I got Netflix.
Dude, it literally four times. Oh, the app uses features. Go fuck yourself, Google Plus. Sorry, didn't mean to lose this. So please in the comments, comment. Wait, time out. Please in the comments put win, loss, or tie. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out Wrestling Rant, and thank you, Lennox Wooderson, for having so many comments on all our shows. I really appreciate it. Booms, show them why you're the best man in the business. Oh, should we upgrade now? Man,
Well, I know
wish.
what everybody should do. They should go to Kocosports.com. That's KOCOsports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, taekwondo, kickboxing, judo. If you can get your nose broke doing it, we got you covered there on the site. We also have our very popular video on demand section as well as our news and gossip section. I would also like to encourage YouTube, the Internet Infantry, to check out Jason Rex's podcast, Punky's Playhouse. He's also got Extreme Wrestling fans on Facebook. Be sure to like that. Tell him Boom Boom sent you. And but he's giving mad props to Kocosports.com all the time, so I'm just returning the favor. And the best thing about Kocosports.com, besides the fact that it's okay to be a passionate fan, is that it's absolutely 100% absolutely free.
Alright, so, yeah, appreciate it. I'm just fighting Google Plus right now. Lennox Wooderson, I said you snuck this in. What division is the best in NXT? That's tough, but I'm gonna have to say it for the main title. What do you say? Best division, women's, tag, main title?
I'm gonna say something probably controversial. Women's.
All right. Now I think controversial would have been tag. The tag seems to be a little bit of scramble
It
right
seems
now.
to be
Women's
lagging a little bit, but I think they need to work up some more. I think like Jason Jordan and Ty Dillinger, maybe work them up a little bit. The Vaudevillains could probably stand to look a little bit stronger. I think maybe now's the time to introduce like another tag team. Maybe put together a couple guys. Why not put together like C.J. Parker with somebody? He's not doing anything right now, so why not put him in a tag team? There's a lot of possibilities, but that one I think it's kind of like their weak point, and they could really use a few more people.
All right, so like, comment, subscribe. Check out Kocosports.net. Never update your apps on Google Plus ever again. And with that, I am over. Bum 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 bum